I am super excited to introduce you to the Big Talk Academy's Fall 2023 cohort for the virtual showcase. These 8 speakers spent 12 weeks going through this speaker and thought leadership incubator that culminated in a virtual showcase that you are going to see today. These speakers and these big talks are going to inspire, entertain, motivate, educate, and change how you think. I cannot wait to hear what you think about each one of these big talks. Enjoy. Brett Harrison is a spiritual teacher with a passion to enlighten humanity and create a healthy, functional world. Brett's skill as a designer, coupled with an awakening experience, provide the basis of his teaching about creativity and how this helps us understand ourselves and the world that we live in. Please welcome to the stage Brett Harrison with Belonging and the Importance of You.
G'day. Earlier this year, I was in the north of England, and wherever I went, people would greet me with, "Hey up," and I'd be like, "G'day." I always got a smile in return, possibly because they had no idea what I was saying, nor me them at first, but it's what we do, isn't it? We're strangely moved to acknowledge each other in passing, to reach out, connect, and somehow belong together in that moment. Where I live in Australia now, outside a small country town, this impulse to connect means that we all wave to each other as we drive by in our cars. Anyway, a few months ago, I walked around the neighbourhood to have a chat with everyone. My purpose was not to build connection, but rather to discuss an important issue that had suddenly come on our radar. That day, we had all received notice from forestry that they were about to clear fell 300 acres of forest immediately adjacent to us. Clearfell is where they cut down all the trees in a designated area, and not just cut them down, but burn the enormous waste left behind, and then poison everything after that. In this case, the area in question was home to one of Australia's most iconic animals, the koala. This is a koala. Well, it's not a real one, but they really do look like this, only bigger. The trees that forestry were after lay in the heart of a proposed Great Koala National Park, an initiative of the Australian government to help protect this now endangered species. It makes no sense, does it? Let's create a conservation park to save koalas, but first we'll destroy a good portion of their habitat. I set out that day to see how my neighbours felt about this impending attack on the forest. Well, I knew many of them, but most just to say good day to in passing. Although I was a long-term resident of the area, I felt a little disconnected from the community, so this was also a fun way of getting to know them all better. And I discovered a rich diversity of characters, from a grumpy recluse on the corner to a burned-out ecologist down the road, to some lawyers on top of the hill who were sympathetic, but they didn't want to get involved. Nonetheless, no one wanted the forest to fall, and this marked the beginning of a powerful journey for us all. 3 things became clear to me throughout this journey. The first, how alive people become when they're given the opportunity to be heard. You know how good it feels when someone gives you their full attention and genuinely wants to hear what you've got to say. The second thing that became clear was how powerful a group can be when they are united with a common goal. And the third, how it is possible for everyone to find their place in a group and contribute their unique qualities toward highly creative outcomes. You see, humans are designed to work together like this, cooperatively in small groups, tribes, where everyone has a place, a purpose, and they belong. For most of our time on the planet, some 2 million years, we've lived this way to survive, so it's deep in our DNA. We are hardwired to survive through belonging. But today, in a global village of billions, the question of where and even how to belong often arises. And it's this disconnect, this chasm between our need to belong and the way we live today with very little sense of tribe, that's at the core of most of the mental health and environmental problems we now face. Loneliness is a word that best describes the feeling of not belonging. It's a state of disconnect that feeds an array of mental disorders, from narcissism to depression. In fact, many reputable journals now state that loneliness is our biggest global killer. And from an environmental point of view, have you ever wondered what is it exactly that drives this apparent race toward ecological collapse? You might say greed or ignorance, industrial growth, overpopulation, but these are all just symptoms of a much deeper dysfunction, the condition or indeed dis-ease of disconnection, of not belonging. Because simply stated, we will never harm anything that we feel we belong to or that belongs to us. We just don't do it. The rampant environmental destruction we inflict upon this planet for questionable economic outcomes clearly could not happen if we felt connection with it. Disconnection is our greatest ecological threat. And in the case of our koala story back here in Australia, the greater percentage of precious habitat earmarked for clearfell was to make toilet paper. Belonging is a feeling. It's the feeling of being secure, supported, of being accepted and included. It's to be seen, acknowledged, appreciated. Can you imagine a world like this? A place where you know that you belong and you know your importance as an integral part of something vital, something that originally was all about basic survival, but now is a way for us to come together and bring forward creative solutions for a suffering planet. And that's exactly what our neighbourhood did. We came together with a purpose, and it felt good to be united as a group. This feeling allowed us to work together and for each of us to find our place and give our best in a creative challenge. The journey gathered momentum, and people splintered off into subgroups to make signs, establish petitions, and create awareness. Leaders emerged naturally, and everyone had a task. A few weeks later, the grumpy recluse was now smiling, waving enthusiastically as he passed us by. The burned-out ecologist had a spring in his step and renewed purpose in life, and the lawyers on top of the hill, now fully engaged, fiercely focused on victory. After a few more weeks of intense activity and a unique legal angle, we then received another notice from forestry. Logging suspended. We had won. We had stopped the clearfell and saved the koalas. This is the power of belonging, of hearing each other, working together, and everyone playing their part. Next time you are moved to acknowledge someone in passing, know that it's not just a social etiquette, but a deep impulse to survive. Reach out and connect where you can, find your tribe and work together. Because you are here for good reason. There is no one else like you, and you belong. Thank you.
Amazing, Brett. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right. Such a great opening. The G'day brought us right in to your talk, which I thought was really smart. Sound, set, lights, wardrobe, everything is on point. It's such a powerful talk, and the idea of belonging and finding creative solutions in order to create our communities is really powerful, and I love that you're giving this talk. Using the words burn and poison made my heart ache. This is a really great example of how you can choose the very specific words that you want in order to make us as the audience feel a certain way. The idea of burning the trees down and then poisoning the land makes us ill. It makes our hearts break. And I'm really glad that you went there. Really important. I also love that you brought the koala in. I thought that was super cute. You brought G'day back into the material in the middle of the talk, which was really, really smart. And the way you described the people collectively in the meeting, the grumpy recluse, the burned out ecologist, the lawyers on the hill. This is a great way for us to see what you saw by how you're delivering the content. Super, super smart. Also, talking about how all of these different people coming together created a collective connection on saving the koalas, and how that community was built by this shared desire. Also, bringing the environmental health and the mental health issues, challenges into this conversation around how we're not connected and why community is so important is the global impact. That's the global story. We're not living in Australia right now. We may not think or feel that we can contribute to saving those koalas, although for everyone who is at this show, we absolutely did, because Brett was going through this during the program, during the Big Talk Academy, and was now able to share this story with you in service of the global idea of environmental problems and mental health challenges are absolutely created by our lack of communities and connection. So I think that's really smart. Also, going back to the choices of language that you use in order to affect how we feel, telling us that those trees were going to be cut down and burned to make toilet paper and to remove the koala's habitat is just, it takes our breath away. So really great use of visuals there as well. And your call to action of bringing back the narrative symmetry, the grumpy recluse, the burned out ecologist, and the lawyer on the hill, and talking about how you all came together and the power of belonging, and that all you need to do is go out and make connection so that we can eliminate loneliness. Such a powerful talk. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bravo. Thank you so much for tuning in to the virtual showcase for the Big Talk Academy's Fall 2023 cohort. If you'd like to step onto my big stage, all you got to do is head over to thebigtalkacademy.com and join me. This is where we create thought leaders. We help amplify and elevate voices in order to make the world a better place. And if you love these videos, let us know in the comments. And be sure to hit that subscribe bell and notification button so you get access to our latest videos. And remember, your voice matters. Big love. Mwah.